Hello and welcome back to the Tyre podcast, one of the most unprofessional motorsports podcasts you'll find on the internet. With your two lovely hosts, me, Doots, and...
I am Scobbo.
Yes, there we are. Are you doing alright? Doing alright today?
I'm very tired. It's been a long day with not a lot of sleep preceding it, so forgive me, lovely viewers at home, if I sound very noticeably tired throughout this episode.
That's fair enough. I'd also like to... No, go on.
I was just saying, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I don't know, just kind of nothing. Another heat wave coming back to the UK, and that is not lovely.
Yeah, don't I know it.
Not a fan already, and it's meant to get so much worse.
Yay!
Yippee! But right, another thing I want to quickly bring up before we get into the actual episode is just why this episode is at a weird time. It's essentially just a scheduling conflict, basically.
Yeah.
I was away over the weekend. I went to go visit Donington Park for one of the former F1 tracks for a rock festival, which was very enjoyable. It was good stuff. Crofty was there, David Croft, one of the British F1 commentators. I didn't get to see him, but it meant that there was a different commentator. It was Harry Benjamin, I think, for the actual race. But speaking of the actual race...
The broadcast I saw had Alex Jakes.
Alex J, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was Harry Benjamin. Oh, I mean, both of them are good.
It could have been. I might have been just watching a different broadcast.
Fair. It just... Whatever it is, they're both good commentators, so...
Yeah,
I
like Alex Jakes a lot, so...
Yeah.
He has a good way of putting his touch on things.
Yeah, no. He used to do F2 for a good chunk of time, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I don't know why he does these days. He might have moved on to a different series. But I'm not sure. Regardless, speaking of the actual race and who's commentating it, the Catalunya GP are actually back at Barcelona for not the Spanish Grand Prix now.
Mm.
And what are your general thoughts
on that, or the race itself?
Oh, the general race. Just how do you think it's gone?
I think this has been one of the better Barcelona Grand Prix we've had in quite some time. It's been a bit of a surprise because obviously we said this about Monaco last time as well. It's just like it's generally been better in spite of sort of criticisms of the new regulations and things like that. And obviously between the two of us in our track rankings, which we did in the second episode that you can listen to, you didn't have Barcelona very high, did you?
No, I'm looking now. I had Barcelona. Oh no, we both had it 13th.
Okay, yeah, I was saying I remember I could have sworn I had mine slightly higher, but yeah, no, it was around consistent. But yeah, it's just neither of us have ever been like dying to watch a Barcelona Grand Prix, and that was it's up there as like for me best race of the season possibly. It's in the conversation.
It certainly had some really good fighting, some really good strategies thrown into the mix, with actual difference in tyre strategy, which is probably one of the I think it's the first race to fully showcase a good how changing tyre strategy can massively affect a race.
The only thing for me is there were a lot of retirements, which is obviously not
which we will
the best race.
Which we will definitely get onto. Some of them in weirder ways than others.
Yes, indeed.
But before we get into the actual race, just a quick shout out. If you enjoyed the podcast, please follow us on whatever platform, so YouTube or Spotify, depending on what you're listening to, and follow us on Instagram because that is where we do a lot of our posts and stuff like we sometimes do like polls on our story for you to have your own hot takes and questions into the episode. But now, as we usually start an episode with, let's go into the general F1 news before we actually focus on the race. And to start off, we have to go with Pierre Gasly and running it back from Catalunya to Monaco, where there was obviously a lot of backlash and issues with penalties in Monaco. They ended up having like 11 different 15 different penalty incidents
Whew.
investigated and a certain number of penalties given out. But it meant that it was like it originally thought that Gasly was going to be on the podium and then he was going to be dropped, and so Hadjar was going to be on the podium, and then there was a risk that he was going to be dropped and Piastri was going to be on the podium, and then obviously there was Russell's massive drive-through penalty. And so there's been lots of discourse about that. And the FIA, after a push from Alpine to try and get Gasly's podium reinstated, there's been a lot of backlash from the other teams about this investigation, because they're like, well, if you take away these penalties, you've got to look at these ones as well for our team members. So there's now a possibility that that podium position could change again.
Yeah.
If, for example, like Piastri gets penalties removed or Russell gets his penalties removed, stuff like that.
It's
which
a whole
I just
sort of fiasco that is obviously not ideal in the weeks after the race. This is kind of the thing that you want to have out of the way before the race concludes. Typically.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fiasco in the sense that like changing race results in the like from a bit ago, even if it's a couple of races or even if it's however long it was since Abu Dhabi 2021, you set a horrendous precedent by changing race results like that, because it means that once you give one person the leniency, everyone else is going to claw for it. They're going to say, oh, well, this happened here, so why can't we re-get those points? Or this happened here, so why can't we redo this?
And also, it's just like from the outside looking in, like for the FIA, it just looks like they're cocked up on something, which is obviously not what they want either.
It essentially just makes it look like there's been a technical issue and no one has looked and realised, oh, everyone's getting weird, like, time penalties, something's not right here. They've just gone like, well, it's not our problem, people are dealing with it. And then when someone actually comes up and says, no, look, there's clearly been an error here, they're like, fine, have your podium. It just means that everyone else is obviously going to be a little bit hard done by, because it means that Hadjar has lost his, what would have been his first Red Bull podium.
Yeah, and his second career podium.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a shame.
Obviously they're not happy with it. Second bit of news, and one that I know is going to make you very unhappy.
Not happening.
There have been more rumours about Alonso's retirement.
Not happening.
Essentially, he came out and said this weekend, or the weekend just gone in Catalonia, that this might be his last time visiting Barcelona, the circuit.
Yeah.
As hints of rumour that he may retire next year.
Well, yeah, at the end of next year is more than likely, but this...
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying this year, but I'm saying that there's the rumours that he's possibly going to be retiring at the end of next year, stating that this may be the last time, or is probably going to be the last time he's coming to Barcelona for the race.
Well, obviously, because we don't have a Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix next year, we do the year after, so it would have to require him sticking around another 2 seasons after this one to race in Barcelona again, which unless he's given some sort of lifeline, I don't see that happening, but he's definitely going to do at least another year.
I think he'll go
world in which he does not do another year.
I mean, I can see where he would call it now, but I also would not be shocked if he goes another year.
Nah, he'll last longer than everyone.
I know about that. You better hope. You better hope he does and wins that second championship.
Yeah, he will.
Oh, that third championship.
Championship, yeah.
Yeah.
He will win. He will win.
Because otherwise you owe us.
Yeah, all right. I will not. You will be paying me.
I'm sure I will be.
Yes, you will.
But no, moving on from the general news, I believe that's everything.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else come up, so
yeah, that's
nothing worth discussion at least.
No, I just remember looking at it and it's just all stupid stuff like, oh, who's sleeping best tonight after the race? But
Max Verstappen has put his binky in.
Yeah. You're not expecting Antonelli to spray a little bit of lavender oil on his pillow.
And George Russell has microwaved those teddy bears like the weird beanbag inside them that
He's
warms
got
up.
he's got like a heated blanket or something.
Yeah. Hot water bottle.
A glass of warm milk.
Cookies. He's definitely got a glass of warm milk. He does that
he's
anyway.
I'm sorry, George
He does
Russell
that
is
anyway.
he's such a glass of warm milk guy, I think.
To this day. Every night is his ritual before he goes to bed.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
Moving on from that, we can move on to the actual Catalunya Grand Prix, and as we said earlier, pretty good one actually.
Yeah.
Usually Barcelona is not top of anything, but I think it was
of like a standout Barcelona Grand Prix since 10 years ago.
2012.
Or 2016. When the Mercedes took each other
Oh
out.
yeah, 2016.
And then Max got his first win.
Yeah, and then before that it was 2012.
Yeah. But aside from that, in the last 10 years, I can't think of a genuine standout. There've been some all right ones, but none that make me go, wow, that's gonna stay in my mind.
Yeah, been some okay stuff, but they've actually they've proved with this track, because it's not a bad track. Like it has some
it works,
fantastic
and
racing.
in other series as well. Yeah, it's producing great racing.
It's very good. But the other side of things is that it's used as the test track a lot of the time, so it means they have the most data around it, which means generally the best car with the best driver wins it, or does the best around it. And well, we'll get to who won, but it was a glorious moment to see. I didn't get to watch it live, but I've watched the full race. Yeah. But first, let's go for quali. I didn't get to watch quali because I didn't get to see it live, but I did get to watch full race. Quali, we had George Russell on pole, followed by Lewis Hamilton on front row with him, and then Antonelli and Norris behind. Then the two Red Bulls of Verstappen and Hadjar, Piastri, Lawson, Hulkenberg, and Charles Leclerc crashing.
Crashing in Q3, yeah. Oh.
In Q3, which I will be talking about in a bit. Then, from that, I can't really comment on quali and how it was because I didn't see it. So unless you've got anything to say,
it was a perfectly okay qualifying session. It was never going to be anything like armchair gripping, nail biting, kind of excitement. It was an okay qualifying session. Obviously, I think the biggest moment from it was Leclerc having a mare.
Having an absolute mare and crashing.
Yeah, because, he looked like he was going to be one of the quicker guys. Aside from that, there was really no drama. It's kind of just where you expected people to fall in. So, aside from that, I don't have anything to say about qualifying.
It's just that and big ups Hulkenberg getting his first Q3 of the...
Very true.
Yeah, which is
very
good
true.
In the Audi. Yeah, and a bit of a shockingly low for Alpine, but I guess they just don't have the quality pace around here.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably what... at the start of the season, I don't think at the pre-season testing, they were in the strongest position either. Because they were still coming to grips with the new power unit, and obviously Mercedes at that point hadn't given them the latest engine software.
Yeah.
So they weren't going to be as fast. Even the power unit wasn't going to be as fast as the Merc one anyway. So they probably didn't have as much data compared to other teams running the Mercedes power unit.
No, true.
Which I think becomes evident. Apart from, the Williams, they really were slowest Merc engines.
I mean, yeah, but they've definitely turned that around now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing pretty decent on the whole.
Yeah, and when it comes to race pace, they were much better.
I mean, yeah. They're fighting for best of the rest in the championship at the moment.
Absolutely they are. As I have backed them to do.
Yeah. I completely wrong on that for my mid-season predictions.
Yeah, which we'll get to probably sooner than later now, thinking about it.
I don't actually know. I'd have to think about when we're going to be doing that, because mid-season's not even ages away anymore.
Yeah.
We got a little bit, actually.
We do. We'll see. We'll see
got
how
like
things.
a
We'll
month
see how
and a
things go.
bit,
We'll
yeah.
see how things go.
Yeah. But no, with that, we move on to the main race. So the race was won by Lewis Hamilton.
Yes.
Fantastic to see Ferrari back on top and Lewis's first win in red. It's so good to see. There's nothing quite like it's the same with when Alonso moved over and first won. Same with when Vettel moved over and first won.
It's that feeling. A lot of people were comparing it to Michael Schumacher's first win with Ferrari in 1996 because he also won it at Barcelona-Catalunya.
At Barcelona, and that was 30 years prior.
Exactly. So yeah,
like
huge moment.
There's quite the feeling of it, especially because the amount of people who were writing, me included, who were writing off Hamilton.
Yeah. Even I wasn't penciling him to be that high. I was
no.
I wanted him to do better this season, not only just as a Ferrari fan, but generally having more faith in him. But at the same time, I was still writing him off as being,
because it's a
dominated
shame
by
to
Leclerc, which has been not the case in the last two races.
Yeah, no, it's a shame to see like a driver as great as like Hamilton, like kind of doing dog shit, like kind of meandering around at the back, not really achieving anything, and arguing with his race engineer.
And you could see how his attitude had shifted in the last season with that feeling. You could genuinely tell that it was getting to him, that he didn't feel like he was good enough anymore.
No,
the smile on that man's face once he took his helmet off. I don't think he's stopped smiling to this day.
This year he has been infinitely better. Like he's already gotten like 4 podiums, including this win.
Yeah, P2 in the championship
this year. Yeah, he's made it to P2. He's scored points in every single race,
and he's not miles behind either. Kimi Antonelli.
No.
After obviously Antonelli had his retirement, which we'll come to.
Yeah. I think he's one of the only drivers who has finished every single lap.
Yeah.
Of the race currently. Oh, of like the season.
Yeah. So massive moment, and
fantastic to see him win.
Like regardless of who you are, whether you're a Ferrari fan, a Hamilton fan, a Mercedes fan, or just a F1 fan, everyone I think enjoyed that moment.
I feel like everyone kind of enjoyed that to some degree. The only people I can imagine not enjoying it were the Verstappen fans, but even then,
only the hardcore ones. I think most Verstappen fans are a lot more chill about those kind of things.
Only like the real head cases.
Yeah, but it's the same with like when Max was winning. You get the proper head case Hamilton fans.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. The LH cult.
Yeah, Team LH. Hashtag still we rise.
Yeah. But no, second, we've got George Russell. A good performance, honestly, with the kind of faith in him dropping as of late from some dodgy performances the last little bit. He's pulled it back this weekend. He lost pole, still had pace, but not quite as much as Hamilton. It was mainly strategy that kind of did him in a little bit. Merc just weren't on as good a strategy as Ferrari.
Which is a
shocker. Yeah.
But on that note, I just wanted to quickly add, like, this has been a really important result for Russell after especially Monaco, which is one to forget for him. A lot of people were putting him down about it. And I think he was very much in a similar position to how Lewis was last year, where he's starting to feel that inadequacy, like he's not good enough, like he's not performing at the level he should be. So I think he needed this rebound, and then hopefully his form picks up from here, and he's able to sort of get over that early sort of lull in the results to sort of start clawing it back.
Looking at the next tracks that are coming up, they are all ones that Russell has been pretty good at in the past.
Yeah.
Like Austria, Britain, Belgium, like all decent tracks for him on the whole. So it should, as long as he holds form, should all be uphill.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then rounding off the podium, we got Lando Norris to complete the first all-British podium since 1968.
Yeah, crazy.
Which is wild to see.
And it's the first all one like nation podium since in 43 years, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I think it was the French.
It makes sense. It would be like
Alain Prost.
No, not Tremblay. He would have been way earlier, I think.
No. I want to, just for the fucking meme, I want to say Jean-Pierre Jarier, but I know it wouldn't be.
No.
Jean-Pierre Jarier just makes me laugh. I don't know.
Could have been John Lacey.
Oh, Jean Lacey. No. Too early for him. Lacey's first season was like, what, 89?
I'm trying to think of. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm trying to think how long are 44 years out. That would have been 82.
Yeah, so it would have been some, like, we're going off the assumption that it was French as well.
Yeah, we are just guessing that it was French.
I mean, around that time, you did have a lot of French drivers.
Mm.
Like, especially like this coming out of the 70s, you had guys like Jacques Lafitte and René Arnoux. Obviously, Alain Prost came in I think 82 actually. So yeah, you had a lot of French drivers in that period of time.
Possibility that it was those three.
Who's to say?
You never know.
It could have been Arnoux winning and then Prost and maybe Lafitte rounding it out. We're completely speculating here. Someone's going to tell us in the comments that we were so fucking wrong. And it's going to be really
we're
funny.
just absolutely waffling to pieces, which is entirely possible.
We are waffling.
Yeah. All right. On with the rest of the results.
Free.
Fourth, we had Max Verstappen. In fifth, we had Oscar Piastri. Sixth, Isaac Hadjar. Seventh, Pierre Gasly. Eighth, Liam Lawson. Ninth, Arvid Lindblad. And 10th was Franco Colapinto, who did actually finish higher on the road, but got a penalty to drop him down.
Indeed.
Honestly, like, pretty good performances from VCarb and Alpine on the whole to keep up.
Yeah.
Did kind of help that there were some notable DNFs. But I think we will get to those
very shortly
in a sec. So to start off, I want to talk just about Ferrari's strategy, because how on earth did they finally get it right?
Oh, don't count on this being the fucking trend now. They'll shag
it's not the trend. It's not the trend.
Shag it next race.
Like, they will absolutely balls it up next race for sure. But managing to just getting the tyre strategy right was really good. And I really like this year how they made the tyres a step softer, so they degraded quicker, so you had to go for that two-stop. Like, there was no possible way that you were going to do just medium hards coast to the end of the race. Like, it was really good to watch. And starkly impressive from Ferrari to actually pull something out of their ass.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
No, but it basically just meant they had to do one less pit stop from memory than everyone else did.
Yeah.
Which meant that
with Hamilton going long on the hards, he was able to just put pace down, and he was fast on hards as well.
Oh yeah, no, he was still
fastest
like building
for a while,
building the gap on Russell. Even like pretty late into the stage of the race, and I believe he might have even gotten fastest lap.
He was fastest on track for a while.
But and it was just good to see. And speaking of the Mercs, for the longest time it was actually Russell and Antonelli right up the front.
Yeah, they were having one hell of a battle as well.
They were having an insane battle, constant switching
really
back and forth. Antonelli trying to do lunges around the outside.
Yeah, Antonelli putting some aggression on, like a real nice ebb and flow to it, with Russell's sort of rebuttals of the moves, covering him off nicely, and then sort of on the inside.
Incredibly similar to the battle in Canada that was going on. We had Russell out front defending for his life, and Antonelli trying to charge by from behind. However, much like Canada, but swapped around, Antonelli suffered an engine failure.
Yeah.
Which meant he just lost all power and went out on I think it was like lap 63. Lap 61 out of 66. So it was like right near the end.
It was.
Which was insane to see.
I mean,
that is a huge point swing.
And it is a general kind of trend with the current regulations. And it is kind of something that you see a lot when new regulations come in. But the reliability of these cars has been dreadful. Like,
it's not great.
There have been, I think I saw a stat, and I haven't remembered it off by heart, but since the beginning of the season, there's been, I think it was 64 either DNFs or DNSs in this season alone, from just these few races that we've had. Obviously, missing 2 races in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain as well. So it's a very big number for that, considering we've only had however many races in the season so far. So yeah, it's just a general kind of quick extra point that it hasn't been a a good race for reliability. Obviously, with 7 cars not finishing the race.
Yeah, we had some cars not finishing the race. We'll talk about 2 of them in a bit, but I'll also just briefly mention both the Astons went out, one for gearbox, one for the battery.
Who the fuck surprised?
It's no shock. The Cadillac of Bottas went out for overheating. Albon was a weird one because I feel like he went in for ages and then came back out and finished 11 laps down.
He still finished behind cars that had retired because they were laps ahead of him by the time that he had finished his race.
And then Behrman, there was some sort of reliability issue, so they just pulled his car in to stop it before anything actually went wrong. But yeah, the other point of this DNF from Antonelli is that it's a big point swing, especially considering that the 2 people fighting with him for the title essentially are 1 and 2 of Hamilton and Russell. So they've closed the gap as much as feasibly possible.
Literally as much as physically possible, yeah.
Yeah. Which is really possibly going to make it a very interesting season going forward. And you know what?
I'm here for it.
If Hamilton keeps this form, I'm so here for him getting his 8th.
I would be absolutely... imagine that, obviously, after everything. And especially the retirement rumours as well. And we both said we don't see him sticking around for more than another year, maybe.
No.
But, like, imagine that. Like, to go out on that high as well. To do what he'd always dreamed of doing, winning that championship in red, bringing glory back to the Scuderia. As a Ferrari fan and just as a fan of F1, I can't think of a better outcome.
I think it would be fantastic to see, but he does have to get past the 2 Mercedes, which they have an incredibly good car. He's gotten past Russell, which, you never know. He could always come back later in the season.
Well, I mean, also we must add that Russell and Antonelli have both had reliability issues, causing at least 1 DNF each. Hamilton has, as far as we've said earlier, as far as we're aware, he has yet to have a reliability issue.
Yeah.
So if points may not actually reflect performances completely thus far, but I think it is the general trend is that the momentum is with Hamilton right now.
It's an odd one. I'd say that probably the Merc is easily the best car out on track, but I'd say Hamilton's possibly driving the best.
As of right now, I would definitely agree.
Because the battling between Antonelli and Russell, while there are some very clean parts of it, and it's massively impressive to see someone as young as Antonelli fighting with some amount of restraint and decent racecraft.
Still got the guts.
There's also a bit of
it's the inexperience.
There's a bit of scrappiness to it that you can feel, where he'll go for a stupid move and have to go onto the runoff and go across and then complain that he was cut off. That kind of almost early Verstappen-esque.
Yeah, it's an attitude that he needs to sort of ditch before he can show himself to be truly a mature driver. Yeah,
not quite, because Verstappen was very good at it being we're going to crash or you're going to give me the place.
Yeah, it's that sort of Senna mentality of I'm setting this up now. It's up to you to move out of the way or we're going to come to blows.
Yeah. But at the moment, Hamilton does have the momentum, especially on a good run of form. And with this win now, he's finally gotten over that hurdle of the first win with Ferrari. So hopefully that'll push him forward.
I think,
especially going forward into. Yeah.
It's what we said earlier. The smile on that man's face. He needs.
Austria could be a bit of an odd one, but Britain,
absolutely.
I mean, obviously Britain is big fan.
One of the best tracks on the calendar, and that's not biased. That is just true.
No, that Silverstone is one of the best.
It's and it has got Hamilton is 10 wins at Silverstone, something like that, since his last one in 24, 5.
I thought he had 9.
24, but it's 9 or 10. It's something crazy like that. It's comfortably the most at any one circuit in F1 history. Yeah. So it's crazy. But it's 9, I think. But yeah, his last one in 2024, absolutely, that was pretty good moment.
That was fantastic to see him win again.
Imagine he makes it a 10th.
Yeah, if he makes it the 10th with Ferrari, that was so good. I mean, I'm biased because I'm a Ferrari fan.
Yeah, I'm a Ferrari fan, and I assure you, my trousers will not remain on for very long.
Fair enough. Now, speaking of Ferrari, I want to go to the
thought-
other side of the
I was
garage.
about to say, speaking of nudity.
Oh no, no, I don't need to know about your nudity. Thank you very much.
I'm sure
But
neither do the ladies and gentlemen at home.
the other half of the garage, we had Leclerc,
Oh,
and I
my
just need to
baby.
say, what the fuck has happened this weekend to him?
Yeah,
My boy.
my boy.
It's so disheartening because I can't even chalk it up to anything mechanically wrong for the first two crashes.
No.
Like the race, essentially in the race he lost power steering. And so that's what caused him to DNF. At roughly the same time as Antonelli, which is a very weird coincidence.
Yeah.
I initially thought that they'd come together or something, but it was just two failures at the same time, basically. But the power steering went, which meant he had to go straight on and park up the car, and it's just... He's had the most woeful weekend in a while.
Boy.
He's lacked some of the... Like, he had a crash in practice. He then crashed again in quali. He then didn't have the best of starts in the main race, but he clawed his way up to about 4th, which was okay.
Yeah.
From memory. And then just like obviously power steering issue, drops like a stone down to the back, and it's got to be one of the worst. One of the worst weekends I've seen in a while, besides like, I don't know, maybe Piastri's Azerbaijan.
Yeah, I was about to say fucking Baku, yeah. That
was woeful, but
tragic. That was the momentum shift.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But no, it's just like what's gone wrong? Like what's happened is it's just a loss of confidence in the car, loss of confidence in the team, like and mechanical issues, or just doesn't have the feel for it. It's like what's happened?
It makes me sad.
Okay. Do you not have any comments on it?
Oh, yeah, no. Sorry, I thought you were...
I posited a question and you said
I thought
nothing.
it was rhetorical, like
No.
audience question for food for thought. No, it's very sad. Like I know I've just said that, but like it in a strange way. Obviously, as a Ferrari fan, as someone who's watched him basically since he joined the sport, it's upsetting to see the state that he's in recently, especially when I had confidence in him. That's not to say it was misplaced, but like I was always, especially after last year, comfortable in the sort of the thought that he was going to be the faster Ferrari driver as he was last year. You know, I thought he was going to be the one that's like coming home P3 constantly, is clearly like not quite got the fastest car, but is going to make that, you know, it's clear that he's doing everything he can. But these last two races at least, whether it be qualifying or the race itself, it's been dreadful. And it's been really, really unfortunate to watch. And even like you say, like, even if the last sort of, his actual retirement wasn't on him, like the crashes beforehand, you can't really take that away from, you know, you can't absolve him of blame for those, because that was him.
They were just standard crashes just during like the other two sessions. There's nothing you can really say. And yeah, with the Monaco crash beforehand, like crashing on the what's it called?
Swimming
like the safety car.
Oh, the safety car, yeah.
Like ending lap. Like it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that was agonizing to watch. Honestly. My poor boy. I really don't. I don't know if I want to keep talking.
I mean, I just really hope that he's able to pick it back up
100%,
for next week.
100%.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
But if the fact that he's signed on with Ferrari possibly up until 2030, and this is how things are going, I don't want to
save him.
I'm not sure whether to save him or just say it's done. You know,
it's Jova.
It could be either. It depends on how the form holds up, but we shall see. It's too early to jump the gun on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Other one I want to quickly mention was the absolute tragedy of Nico Hulkenberg.
Yes, I'm sure some of you will have seen this already, but not everyone will have done. But he had one of the most ridiculous DNFs in F1 history, in motorsport history.
Probably motorsport history, yeah.
Do you want to, or shall I?
I'm more than happy to.
Yeah.
Essentially, he was battling Liam Lawson throughout the race. It was on lap 29 that I believe it was Lawson kicked up some gravel.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
With his car. And one of the pieces of gravel from Lawson's car flew at Hulkenberg's and hit the kill switch for the engine.
Yep.
Completely shutting the thing down. So all of a sudden, is a loss of power, but it's not because there's anything actively wrong with the car.
No.
It's simple that the kill switch has been engaged.
Yeah, that kill switch, basically, for those who don't know, it shuts down all of the electronics in the car as a safety measure, so that if there's an issue with the car, if it needs to be recovered, and there's marshals that need to attend to the driver, they can hit it quickly, it shuts down the electrics in the car, they can safely sort of touch the car without risk of electrocution or, other mechanical sort of mishaps that could cause injury or otherwise cause harm. And with that in mind, obviously there's no override for it. Once that kill switch has been engaged, then that's it. It's engaged.
The only way is to deactivate it manually and then reset the system. And
Yeah.
you can't do that mid-race.
No, so Hulkenberg, I believe he was able to coast it back to the pits at least and then retire from there. But,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he was able to do. But regardless, that is it. I feel like that just sums up Hulkenberg's career as a whole, really. It's just plain unlucky.
It's just one of the most ridiculous DNFs ever.
Yeah. Tragic.
And I hope that he gets a bit of better luck, because he was in good stead for scoring some points for Audi.
He really was,
he had decent pace.
He really did.
I also want to give a quick shout out to the Red Bulls, Racing Bulls, who actually had decent pace on the whole. Same with the Alpines.
Both of them, Both
Colapinto was running in 8th for a bit, which is good to see that he's actually finding some form. And actually out-qualified Gasly again. I think it's about even between the two of them now. So he's getting his footing after a slightly rough year last year.
I mean, it's interesting for the Racing Bulls, though, because we both were talking about how, at the start of the season, when we made our sort of first half of the season predictions, you predicted that Haas would be the best of the rest. I predicted to be Alpine. And while I still think it's between those two, I think both of us overlooked Racing Bulls.
V-Carb. Completely.
They are consistently starting to appear in the points. It's not obviously quite as consistent and as high scoring as, say, Alpine is. But at the same time, like every race, they are now showing up, in P8, 9, or even like P6 or 7 in the... Don't say it. In the...
I'm not.
Good boy. I don't remember which race it was, but... My bad, gang.
No, they had, I believe it was Canada?
Yeah.
No, I could be wrong on that one.
I think it was after the retirement.
You're right. There was one race where they had a really good, really good points positions for the both of them.
But yeah, it's stuff like that. If they keep this up, then I have no doubt that they may be in the fight for best of the rest.
It was Monaco. They were 5th and 6th.
That was it. Yeah.
Or actually, technically, they'd be 6th and 7th. Don't say it, because Gasly got his podium reinstated. But good performance from them. I'm also gonna say, just complete nothing from Haas.
Yeah.
They were kind of nowhere.
You have backed the wrong horse, my friend.
Yeah, I expected a lot better from Haas with the new TGR brand, and they had such a good start to the season.
They really did. Oliver Behrman was P4 in the standings for a while.
Out of the gates, Behrman went 7th and 5th in the first two races, with an 8th in the sprint as well.
Behrman was like prime King Von.
Now last thing, first 2 rounds, Behrman managed to rack up 17 points, which is wild for Haas. And since then, he has only gotten 1 point, and that was in Canada.
It's unfortunate. It really is.
How things have changed.
Yeah.
But, Ocon's only managed to get 3, I think, this season.
Yeah, sucks to be you, though.
Yeah, I love it. That's
I'm
fine.
gonna take everything I can get in our in our predictions championship, and we'll get to that in a minute. But
Yeah, yeah. But
before
first,
that,
I want to quickly say, do we think it was an overall improvement for
I was
Barcelona?
going to ask you this. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah, we sort of said
Yeah.
this at the beginning anyway, but absolutely this has been the best Barcelona Grand Prix I think in 10 years.
Mm. And now my question would be: obviously, they're replacing it with the Madring, which we are less than favourable of, but we're not sure
Yeah, we haven't.
because
We
we
have to at
haven't.
least give it the benefit of the doubt and let a race happen there first.
Yeah, we've got to at least get a race or two out and then see how it goes. But it's not looking the most
It
promising
really is not.
from digital renditions of it. However, my question is actually going to be: would you rather that this stays on the calendar now,
I
or
to
or
be honest,
or are you happy that it's being circled out to try some other tracks?
I think this is one of the tracks that should remain. Not even just because of this one race, but even prior to this, I wouldn't have put this as one of the ones that I'd circulate in and out, because I think it is still a good racetrack that can produce good racing. And obviously, this set of regulations clearly so far are better on it.
Yeah,
I would have much sooner substituted another track than Barcelona anyway. Especially,
yeah,
I mean, my whole thing would be to take it out of remove it as the testing track and have the
yeah,
testing track be somewhere else. Whether it's even if it's another Spanish track like Jerez or something like that. You know,
yeah.
regardless, I would want to see Barcelona actually done justice, because I think it is a good track. So
That's fair.
yeah,
Now,
I would have definitely retained Barcelona.
I want to quickly pose you another question. We've talked before in some of the episodes about which tracks we'd remove and what would change and whatnot. I want to say within reason, because obviously, like, there's no way that they're going to be swapping out certain tracks. So my thought is, if you want to keep Barcelona on the grid, one of the other European tracks has to go.
European tracks has to go.
What are you picking? And you can't
I
choose
can't
the
say the
Madrid.
Madrid because we haven't had it
You
yet. Yeah, no, I
can't
get
use the
that.
Madrid because we've not had it yet.
No, I get
But
that.
if you had to bin off one of the other European tracks that's either on the calendar or coming to the calendar, what would you say?
Ooh, that's
Because it's all well,
hard.
because I feel like we always fall back on just being like, yeah, get rid of Qatar, get rid of Miami.
Yeah, but that's because they are the worst.
But it's
The
because they are
European
the
tracks are
worst.
typically better.
But there's the financial reasons why they're keeping them. So
Yeah.
this is a more realistic of. There's no way they're going to bin off.
For me, I think I would sooner get rid of. I can't get rid of Monaco because it's iconic, in spite of the fact that it's just not as good.
Hmm.
I'd have to say something. I like the Hungaroring, but I think it's probably the weaker end of the European leg of the championship tracks. So I think if I had to swap something to retain Barcelona and have, and I'm going on the premise that we'd have Hungaroring be the track that's circulating. It's still going to be raced on, just not as often.
Yeah,
Either Hungaroring or Zandvoort, just because I think Zandvoort is a better track than the Hungaroring, but at the same time, obviously, Max not being in the championship for much longer and making it very clear that he doesn't want to remain for much longer will probably reduce the amount of people that are going to go and watch Zandvoort anyway. So I don't feel so bad in sort of having that circulate instead.
I mean, yeah, they're already getting rid of Zandvoort for next year, so
Yeah, exactly. So
it can. That's fair enough.
I'm assuming you would be fine with the circulation of it anyway.
I wouldn't mind it going in circulation. I'd go Hungaroring would be my pick, because my idea is like, to take it out of circulation, you have to bin off one other track that's meant to be in the calendar for next year.
Yeah.
And it's like, what would you bin off? And I think I would pick the Hungaroring of the European tracks.
The thing is, it's annoying just because a lot of the European tracks are just better than a lot of the tracks elsewhere.
They're good, and the reason why is kinda... It's an odd one, because a lot of them are more established, like, full circuits.
Yeah.
Like, there are only... In fact, no, there is literally only one street circuit
in
in
Europe
Europe,
with Monaco.
which is Monaco. Whereas you go to the Americas, and there is only technically two full circuits
Yeah,
of
by
the five,
technicality.
which is Interlagos and Kota, because Montreal is
It's
technically
technically a street circuit by
street
technicality.
circuit, and then the other two literally are street
Street
circuits.
circuits,
Well,
yeah.
one street circuit, one car park circuit.
Yeah.
But, same thing. And it's kind of the same with it's the Middle East is weird because they have all the space and the money to build tracks, but it's usually, I don't know what went wrong with Abu Dhabi. I'm going to
the
be honest.
quality is just not as good.
I think that just came out of the oven a bit weird.
It's like someone trying to make a shape of the cookie before putting it in, and then obviously
yeah,
with the way a cookie bakes.
Qatar, it's different. The reason why Qatar isn't a very good track is because it's just not for F1.
No.
Like it was made for motorcycle racing, and they were just like, fuck it, F1 cars can come here, I guess. Like it's not going to be dangerous. So
yeah, it's just not going to be good either.
yeah, we've gone on a little bit of a tangent.
A little.
But still, it's good to see from Barcelona.
I would take several European tracks before several of the tracks elsewhere. And that's not just me being like a, embittered old man. Like, genuinely, some of the best tracks in the world are not currently visited by F1, and they are not they're not outside of Europe either.
True, but there's also some that are outside.
There
are,
absolutely. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But
I'd love to see us revisit Sepang.
I was about to say Malaysia. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we had this conversation in a previous episode. If you really want to hear what we have to say in terms of tracks coming to or coming back to F1, then please go and listen to that.
Yeah, we did a whole episode on circuits that should return.
We did, so
go listen to that. Perfect. All right, we just want to quickly cover, before we go on to what our predictions were for this race, I'd like to quickly cover the F2 and F3. It's going to be very brief because I didn't get to watch it all that much. Essentially, F2, there was a sprint which was won by Kushmaini, who honestly led it in pretty dominating fashion. There was nearly a podium for Colton Herta, which would have been quite something to see, but unfortunately he made a really stupid mistake on the final lap, which dragged him backwards and I think put him in 5th at the end. So no maiden podium for him. The feature race was won by Rafael Camara, which puts him up 3rd in the championship, behind Gabriele Mini in 1st, who is 6 points above Nicolas Solov, so it's looking like it's going to be a tight fight between those three. For 3 different teams as well, be MP, Campos, and Invicta, so should be good. And then F3, we had the sprint race, which was won by James Wharton. Good to see Prema actually doing something, because they're not exactly doing anything at all at the moment besides bleeding money. And then the feature race was won by Niall, I don't know how to pronounce it. And that was in pretty standard race on the whole, but it was good to see Yamakoshi managing to get a podium to make up for the disqualification that took away his first win. But on the whole, not too bad. I only watched the highlights, so I can't comment too much. But I will be trying to watch more of it when the next race occurs, which I swear they race at Austria, actually, so that might be sooner than I think.
Either way, I will too try and catch it as well.
Yeah.
But
all right.
To move things along, before every race in the episode before the race coverage that we give, so the episode before this one, we made some predictions ahead of the Formula 1 Grand Prix. And we do this every week, that there is a Formula 1 Grand Prix. And then in the review episode, we review our predictions. And so far, our form has not been very good in the last few rounds, to be honest. We've had some stinkers, and some of the Instagram comments have definitely pointed out us to the fact that we have had some stinkers. And basically, we have 4 categories that we make predictions in every week. The first is race winner, so who do we think is going to win? The second is race binner, so who do we think is going to have a bad weekend for whatever reason? Third is flop of the tops, and that is basically whatever, driver from the top 4 teams is going to have a bad weekend specifically. And then the fourth is our wildcard prediction, which can be, a bit something of anything. So, with all that in mind, Doots, why don't you lead the way and let us know who you thought was going to win the Spanish Grand Prix?
I shall do. I thought for the Spanish Grand Prix that Antonelli was going to win it, and I couldn't have been more wrong.
No, even before that, it was the boring, obvious choice.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was the boring, obvious choice because he was currently performing the best in the Mercedes, which is the best car, and as such, I was like, it's probably going to be Antonelli. It would make the most sense.
Yeah.
And apparently not enough sense because he did not. He didn't even finish the race.
No. I also predicted someone who did not end up finishing the race, and I really can't talk much shit because I said Charles Leclerc. Immediately after seeing free practice and qualifying, I was already regretting my decision.
Head in hands.
Yeah, exactly. I just right, this is another stinker for me, another Scobbo stinker, and I'm going to get clowned on in the Instagram comments again. So I don't want to talk about it anymore. Please move us along to Race Binner.
Give me a mo. Yeah. So Race Binner. This is a bit of a contentious one because I'm not sure whether to put it as race winner or as an actual race binner or not. So I went for Carlos Sainz, who didn't have a good race, but I'd be reticent to say it was the worst.
No, by all means.
He finished 12th, and he finished 2 laps down, but there were 2 people that finished below him. So is it truly a race spinner? I'm not sure. I'm going to leave it up to if anyone wants to debate whether that should or not be a race spinner in the comments or on the Instagram or whatever, then absolutely go for it. But for the moment, I'm going to do it as a half point.
Yeah, we agreed.
I'm not sure.
We agreed to do a half point for this, and we've done similar before, where it's been a bit contentious and hard to make a concise and definitive decision. So that's what we've gone for in terms of that. But I said Arvid Lindblad, and to be honest, I don't even remember my reasoning. I just think I just kind of picked the guy who is the least experienced on the grid and went, yeah, he'll have a shitter. So I really just think I wasn't being very creative that one, and obviously it's cost me because he had once again, like we said a minute ago about the racing balls, about the racing balls generally. He's put it in the points again, so far from race binner for him.
Yeah. Moving on, we've got the flop of the tops, and for this we've both had a bit of a stinker. Me slightly less, but I went for Oscar Piastri, who ended up getting 5th and very much did not finish flop of the tops. He was nothing fantastic from Piastri. He was in a bit of no man's land, but he was the last person to not be lapped. But it's definitely, considering that 2 of the top team drivers failed to finish the race, I would say it is definitely not a flop.
Yeah. I put Lando Norris, who ended up finishing P3. So
yeah.
I'll just let that. I'll just let that sit for a moment, and then we can move on.
Yeah. Really screwed that one up, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Now we've got the wildcard prediction, which is essentially just any kind of prediction that is within reason. And we both went for quite generic ones.
I think we just needed some points.
We needed some points. I went for pole position won't win the race, and George Russell started on pole and finished 2nd, so that gives me 1 point.
Yes, and likewise, I get a point because there was no full safety car. That means obviously the actual safety car coming out does not include virtual safety car or anything like that. So I also did okay with a very safe bet. To be fair, I don't think my bet was as safe because I think there is, they said it in the broadcast, there is a 50% chance of getting a safety car in Barcelona.
I mean, realistically, several of those VSCs could have very easily become safety cars. So
I was on edge at certain times, knowing that was what I'd predicted.
Yeah, yours wasn't quite as safe as mine was.
Yeah, but still generic, I'd say, more so than safe. Generic,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
But at the end of the season, we will be counting up who got the most points in our little predictions championship, and then in the final episode, when we go over the awards for the season, one of the hosts, whoever triumphed, will be bestowed with a gift by the other for their efforts in being better at predicting things.
Yeah, and it's currently 7.5 to me and 5.5 to you.
It's not over yet, my friends. It's not over yet.
It's not over till it's over.
Watch the comeback, chaps. Watch the comeback.
But I believe that is all for the F1.
That is
so we only
the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix.
Yeah, pretty good race on the whole. But before we wrap up the episode, we've got to talk about the other motorsport series that have gone on this weekend, or the weekend just gone.
Now,
so if you want to start us off.
I mean, normally we have quite a few to talk about, but we only have two this week. It's been a bit of a drier one. I always like to mention the NASCAR Cup Series, which happens most weekends. And this one was a good one for me. This was the Great American Getaway 400 at Pocono Raceway, which was won by Denny Hamlin. It's strange to say for a guy who's been in the sport for so long, but he won his first career three-peat with total dominance. He was in stage one for most of stage one, running 0.6 a lap faster than everyone else, and he is kind of considered to be the Pocono Whisperer. He's got the highest number of wins at Pocono already, and he's just added one more to make it 8 now. So he's basically, to liken it to what we were saying earlier, he's like Lewis Hamilton in Silverstone. He just you can never rule him out when it comes to Pocono. If anything, you kind of expect him to be the winner. So
also, if it's 0.6, it may not sound much considering how F1 goes. In NASCAR, that's fucking huge.
Massive pace
that's
difference.
Massive margin.
Considering the most of the rest of the field was running that 0.6 slower. So he just within 3 laps he was already seconds ahead, and he was gapping everyone. Nobody was going to stop him, no matter what Carl Larson tried to do, or no matter what Chase Elliott tried to do. They had no answer for the man Denny Hamlin, and it's been a good season so far for me as a Denny fan, because he's always been that guy who's come so painfully close, and to this day has not yet won a championship in Cup. So this, I don't want to say it, I'm touching wood as I say it, but this might be his year finally, after over 20 years of trying and being, I think, quite possibly the guy in the conversation for best NASCAR driver to never win a cup. It might finally be the one for him. But there's aside from that, what I would like to quickly just mention, but without going into too much detail, over the weekend just gone, we had the 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of, if not the biggest single motorsports event in the world, over the whole year. And that is obviously a huge event, and we won't at all discuss that now, because next week's episode will be going over it, as well as sort of the 24 Hours of Le Mans as a whole. So be sure to tune in there if you want to hear anything about that, and that'll be coming out next Tuesday at the normal time.
Yeah. However, I do want to briefly mention that on the topic of the World Endurance Championship, of which Le Mans is a part of, we have gotten the schedule for next year's WEC calendar, and it includes a new race.
Yes.
That being the 6 Hours of Silverstone that has returned since its last inclusion in the 2019 and 20 season, which is going to fit in between Imola and Spa, and that is looking very good in April. I'm very tempted to drag us two up there.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, endurance racing in Silverstone is already good. I watched the European Le Mans Series race there last year.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not using hypercars, but that's still LMP2s and LMGT3s. Really, really good racing. So,
but seeing the hypercars up there would be really good for the 6 hour.
Absolutely.
It's just nice to have another event on the calendar, and nice to have another European event.
Something that we can actually possibly go to as well.
Yeah, I don't know. 24 Hours of Le Mans, it's not ages away.
Oh no, we can definitely go to that as well. But yeah,
but very good. It's very nice to have one on home turf.
Yeah,
but I believe that's everything for this episode.
I've said everything I feel like I need to say.
Yeah, once again, apologies for the change in timing of the episode. Is mainly just due to we try to strive to get the episode out and record it on a Monday, post it on a Tuesday, but we've had issues this week with timing and stuff, so we can't really.
No, it's not
Couldn't have
something that
gotten it
can
done.
be really helped, and obviously we've still made an effort to at least get an episode out this week for
Oh yeah,
all three of you listening. So
yes.
we are eternally grateful for your patience. Obviously, our DMs and comments have been flooded, inundated with people saying, "Where's the episode? Where's the episode, guys? Where's the episode?" all two people. All two people.
Yeah, we've had so many death threats, so many death threats from people about where's the episode. But
all two
no,
of them.
it's still very much appreciated if you do watch us. If you have enjoyed this episode, then please do follow on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is you're watching on, and the Instagram, just because that's where we do a lot of our posts and a lot of our interaction with you lot comes through any of our platforms, but Instagram is where we do like the most polls and stuff like that.
Yes.
So
if you've listened this far, comment hashtag Denny Hamlin 2026. Preserve my sanity.
I guess so.
Do it.
But I think with that we should probably end the episode.
Yes.
I thank you all for watching. Hopefully you have a good rest of the day or whatever you get up to. And we shall see you. Technically, well, it is next week, but in not that long for the recap of Le Mans.
We will see you on Tuesday.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, I get to say, see you next Tuesday, guys.
See you next Tuesday. And with that, it's a goodbye from me.
And a ta-ra from me.